I'm here to make the claim that an outdoor education program would provide Episcopal a deeper connection between its community members and nature. Now, why is that connection between Episcopal's community members and nature so important? To understand that, I think you have to understand why nature is so important to humanity and to individuals. To understand that, you have to understand our evolutionary history and how we have evolved with nature as our surroundings and how we've adapted to best suit our surroundings. Take, for example, snakes. Snakes scare most people, and rightfully so because snakes are threatening. Or take, for example, a river. A river is calming to most people. The sound of water is calming, and the reason for that is because if you can hear the running water, you know that you have a source of water to drink from, to hydrate from. You have thermoregulation, you have a place to bathe, so it's good for hygiene. So when you see a snake, you might get afraid, but when you see a river or a stream, you get that peaceful feeling that things are going to be alright, and it's calming. These two responses, the response of fear of snakes is called biophobia, and the affinity towards beneficial parts of nature is called biophilia. Biophobia and biophilia are these two general associations that humans have with different aspects of nature, which have helped guide us in the past towards healthy living and can still guide us today towards healthy living. The idea of biophobia and biophilia was established by Edward Wilson, who is a well-published biologist. He won a Pulitzer Prize twice. He won the U.S. National Medal of Honor. He is well published and well read, and he speaks with good confidence when he talks about these major ideas. There's a lot of other research that shows that nature can be beneficial for people. Three psychologists with PhDs showed that nature's relatedness, or the amount of time that college students spend around nature, um, greatly affected the amount of stress that they felt while they were taking midterm exams. The ones that knew more about nature and the ones that spent more time in nature experienced less stress. Another thing is that pleasant weather has been shown to have a positive effect on people's mood, people's open-mindedness, and even people's memory. Now, it's obvious that good weather is going to bring about good moods in people, but the fact that good weather can even lead the test subjects to being able to repeat longer digit spans, that's actually pretty impressive. Roger Ulrich was another scientist who, over 9 years of research, showed a correlation between surgery recovery time and a natural view outside of a hospital window. It showed that having the sight of nature, in this case it was trees, actually has therapeutic effects. But there's a problem with all of this goodness that comes from nature, and the problem, quite frankly, is that we don't associate ourselves with nature as much anymore. In urban environments, which more people are living in now than ever before, as you can see by this graph, according to the UN. For the first time in 2008, more people were actually living in urban areas than in rural areas for the first time in human history. So you can see that people are surrounded by these urban settings, which are much less attractive than the stream, and they're suffering from this lack of natural stimuli that can bring benefits such as the ones already discussed. Eleanor Golan explores this concept that humans have evolved technologically to where we can build these cities, and of course there's a lot of benefits of living in a city, but that we have not evolved evolutionarily and biologically to associate cities and roads and concrete and buildings with positive things. Because really, cities do help us survive. They're awfully convenient, and they shouldn't be a source of so much stress and a lack of appeal, yet they are. And the major reason for that is we just haven't evolved yet. We haven't been able to evolve quick enough to associate cities positively. We just haven't been around them long enough. If you think about the fact that our species is 200,000 years old and that we've only been living in cities maybe 2,000 years, you can tell that such a small percentage of our life has been spent around cities that we haven't correctly adapted to them. So we need to get back out to nature. Now, how can Episcopal do this, and how can it fit in well with Episcopal's mission statement? Think about the different components of Episcopal's mission statement. There's spirituality, there's the intellectual side, there's the moral side, the physical side, and the artistic side. Well, spiritually, as an Episcopal school, it's clear that bringing students out to nature would improve their spirituality, because a major tenet of Christianity and of a lot of other religions is stewardship of nature and appreciation of nature and being one with nature. So taking kids out intuitively will improve their spirituality. Intellectually, nature has the opportunity to really give a lesson about ecology that extra kick when you're actually standing out in the ecosystem. If you're standing out in the marshes talking about environmental concerns, obviously it's going to have more impact on kids who actually are out there to have that experience. Morally, it kind of plays into the spirituality as well, where you learn to care for and appreciate nature, but also outdoor education is shown to work with leadership, such as when students are working on a trip together. It shows resource management, and there's a lot of other good moral issues that can be learned through outdoor education. Physically is sort of it's intuitive how that would help students if they're outside, if they're healthy, if they're active, if they're not sitting inside on their laptop, they're going to be more physically capable and healthy. And then lastly, artistically, students can go outside and get artistically inspired by nature. Nature is a very common theme in art throughout entire humanity's history. Ultimately, though, the next step in outdoor education at Episcopal is going to be through organization of this program. We're going to need somebody to set up trips and encourage students to come and deal with all the liabilities, and some sort of overall organization that could do that, some sort of branch or department is what needs to be founded. So I leave you with that.